Hello guys, do you remember my recent video about Muhammad in his first 40 years as an idol worshipper, like his family, like his Quraysh tribe? Have you seen it?
يقول ماذا كان يعبد محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم قبل البعثة؟
Tafsir al-Tabari will answer you, ya Sheikh. Tafsir al-Tabari for chapter 93, ayah 7. وَوَجَدَكَ ضَالًّا فَهَدَى, meaning he found you lost and guided you. أي كان على أمر قومه 40 عام. Muhammad was lost for 40 years before his prophethood, and according to al-Tabari, he was lost like his tribe, the Quraysh of Mecca, and he needed to be guidance from worshipping idols before becoming a prophet. So meaning for the first 40 years, Muhammad used to worship idols like his own tribe. Qawmihi means his people, his nation. So the Quraysh used to worship idols like Muhammad. That's what it refers to. That's at-Tabari, the crème de la crème. There you go, ya Sheikh. That's your answer right there. Well, one of the Muslims who comes to watch my videos, he commented on one of the videos of Farid Response. You see it? Farid Response. This guy by the name of Anas Tayyib, he went after watching my video, and I mentioned also this video on one of my live shows. He says to Farid Response, and I quote, "Ya Farid Response, Ya Farida, I have a question for you concerning Quran chapter 74 ayah 5 and Quran chapter 93 ayah 7. Some people, i.e. me, Arab Christian, the guy is too embarrassed to say that it was me who mentioned chapter 74 ayah 5 and chapter 93 ayah 7 of the Quran. So some people, I mean Arab Christian, claims, according to Tafsir al-Tabari and Tafsir Ibn Kathir, that it means that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to worship idols. That's true. Muhammad was an idol worshipper in the first 40 years, according to chapter 93, ayah 7. And while being a prophet, already received 3 different chapters of the Quran, and chapter 74 is the 4th chapter. Allah is still saying to Muhammad, "Ya Muhammad, stop worshipping idols." So Muhammad, in the first 40 years, he was an idol worshipper, a nice little pagan mushrik, the Prophet of Islam, a nice little pagan mushrik. And while being a prophet, after receiving 3 different chapters already, in the 4th chapter, chronological order of the Quran, in the 4th chapter, 74 ayah 5, Allah is still telling Muhammad, "Ya Muhammad, stop worshipping idols." And he wants an answer from Farid Response regarding my claim. Right? And the poor guy will never get an answer from Farid Response. Because Farid Response, if he is going to answer this question, I will come back even harder at him. Because this coward, this guy who they idolize as their hero, will never ever dares to, let alone call me on one of my live shows or do a response video, because he knows what I'm going to do to him. Poor guy, this Anas Tayyib. He will never get an answer from Farid Response. But we have an answer from one of the followers of Farid Response. Watch. Jamus tried to answer the question of Anas Tayyib. At Anas Tayyib, it shouldn't be a problem that Muhammad was once a pagan. Wait a second, ya Jamus. Islam tradition always has been telling us that Muhammad followed Deen al-Hanif of Abraham, the monotheistic religion, the Hanif religion of Abraham. So are you trying to destroy that? Well, you have to now, because chapter 93, ayah 7 expose and destroy the lie that Muhammad was a Hanif like Abraham, following a monotheistic religion of Abraham. That's a lie, and you know, now you need to destroy the standard narrative claim. Right, ya Jamus? So he continues saying, Muhammad was once a pagan, given that he was born in a pagan culture. Yes, the Quraysh, pagan culture of Quraysh, since no one chooses what family they are born into. Recall that some hadith say that his parents are in hell. That's true. Both Amina and Abdullah, supposedly the father of Muhammad, the John Doe, are actually in hellfire. But if Allah guided him, then Allah guided him. So Muhammad, this guy, again confirms that Muhammad was actually a pagan. Right? Chapter 93, ayah 7. And if that's not enough, he just destroyed the Islamic standard narrative that Muhammad followed the Deen al-Hanif before Islam, which is a huge lie, right? A huge lie, because that would contradict chapter 93, ayah 7 of the Quran. And then he continues, Muhammad called out of paganism into monotheism, would show the mercy of Allah to Muhammad and all people. But wait, you forgot about chapter 74, ayah 5. Why are you not answering that question? Yeah, Munafiq. He's asking about chapter 74, ayah 5 and chapter 93, ayah 7, proving that Muhammad was a pagan before Islam and a pagan while being a Muslim prophet. What you should be worried about, he continues saying, is whether Muhammad, who was a pagan, was a true prophet. Well, can you be a true prophet while still worshipping idols? And Allah needs to tell you, stay away of worshipping idols? Yeah, Jamus, you are in trouble, and you're causing more damage already than you are trying to fix the disaster here. Because if he is not a true prophet, well, he is not, the Islam is pure paganism. That's true. Muhammad still was worshipping idols, and you don't want that. No, you don't want that. So why are you still a Muslim? Knowing that according to chapter 74, ayah 5, Muhammad was still worshipping idols. Ya Munafiq. In the end, you are followers of an idol worshipper, Muhammad. So ya Muslimin, why are you following Muhammad, who used to worship idols before Islam and while being a Muslim after 40 years in his life? Still Allah needs to remind them, Ya Muhammad, stay away from worshipping idols in chapter 74, ayah 5 of the Quran. We have a disaster here that you have to deal with, Ya Muslimin. Either you're going to stay a Muslim idol worshipper like your prophet, or you're going to leave this pagan cult of worshipping idols. Please download our video and let it go viral, people. I really hope that many Muslims are going to leave Islam after today's video. Thank you for watching, and God bless.